Hi, my name is Mario Carrion from Bandito Gaming, and this is the definitive guide for the Scout class in Killzone Shadow Fall. This guide will cover everything you need to know to take advantage of the Scout class in Killzone Shadow Fall, including abilities, weapons, and explosives. Let me introduce to you those elements. After that, I will elaborate about each one of them. First, abilities. The Scout class has one primary ability, Tactical Echo, and three secondary abilities, Cloak, Emergency Teleport, and Stone Drone. Next, the four primary weapons. Three of them are sniper rifles, the StA101, the StA61, and the LS70, and one submachine gun, the LSR-44. Then, the two secondary weapons, the handgun M6 and the semi-automatic pistol StA19, and finally the three explosives, the M194 grenade, the remote C4, and the laser 3 mine. Recall that all the abilities and weapons in Killzone Shadow Fall are unlocked by default. Only certain attachments and upgrades are unlocked by completing special challenges. I won't cover any of those because they are really straightforward. They basically consist in using the ability or weapon to get kills or to help your teammates. Now, time to elaborate about each one of the abilities. The Tactical Echo is the only primary ability for the Scout class, meaning you will always have this ability available no matter what other secondary ability you select. The Tactical Echo allows Scout players to send out a radar pulse that temporarily highlights all enemies within range, including foot soldiers and enemy automata, like sentry turrets, and even other scouts using the Cloak ability. The range of the Tactical Echo depends on how long you keep pressing the button. The longer you press it, the longer the radar pulse will be sent out. This ability doesn't let you to instantly see enemies through walls. Instead, only enemies that happen to be detected within range of this radar pulse will show up on your HUD. Now let's elaborate about all the secondary abilities. The Cloak is a secondary ability that allows to be partially invisible to your enemies. Be aware that this ability doesn't allow you to use any weapon but the combat knife. Therefore, if you attack an enemy or if you try to use any other weapon, the Cloak will be interrupted. The Cloak ability is really useful when flanking and in general when you try to infiltrate behind enemy lines. Recall that enemy scouts can still detect you if they use the Tactical Echo. The Emergency Teleport is similar to the one available to the support class. It's a defensive mechanism that teleports you to a random area of the map. Great to escape compromised areas like those with heavy enemy presence. And finally, the last secondary ability is the Stone Drone. This ability allows you to deploy a flying combat drone that waits in an area until it detects an enemy nearby. Stone drones are great when you are trying to attack an objective and perfect to slow down enemies in small areas. Now time to talk about the primary and secondary weapons as well as explosives. I won't elaborate too much. Instead, in the near future I will give you a guide for each one of them, with more tactics and more detail. Let's start with the StA101 Comrade. This is a medium-weight, fast-firing sniper rifle, designed for the medium range and with great damage. This sniper rifle is great to engage enemies from distance. The StA61 Belcher is a semi-automatic sniper rifle. This weapon is kind of similar to the StA101. However, this one inflicts less damage, but it has higher rate of fire. The LS74 is a powerful single-shot sniper rifle that only can be fired when aiming down the sights. Of all three, this is the most powerful sniper rifle. Obviously, it works better when engaging enemies from distance, better in the medium to long range. And finally, the LSR-44 Spore is a 3-burst submachine gun with a powerful rechargeable, single-shot secondary fire that explodes on impact. The magazine capacity of this weapon is better than any of the other 3 sniper rifles, but obviously the range and damage are lower. Now the 2 secondary weapons. First, the semi-automatic pistol StA19, your regular pistol that also works great in the medium range. And the state-of-the-art handgun M6, a powerful weapon that you have to charge before firing explosive rounds. And finally, the explosives. First, the M194 grenade, which is your fragmentation grenade. Recall that arming grenades takes some time, and you can even cook them. Then the remote C4, which is an explosive that can be detonated from distance, useful to clear an objective that is crowded with multiple enemies. Last explosive is the laser trip mine, a mine surrounded by lasers that explodes when an enemy activates any of them, useful to cover a pathway with high transit. The scout class in Killzone Shadow Fall is the link between the support class and the assault class. When used properly, it could be a huge differentiator. Having the tactical echo to detect enemies nearby, or the stone drone to provide some extra help when defending an objective, will become crucial. To surprise the enemy, the Cloak ability can be used to find a better flanking route when attacking an objective, and having powerful weapons that support the silencer attachment will help you a lot. Regarding the weapons, the LSR-44 is great for the close quarter engagements, and both the StA101 and the StA61 work better in the medium range. And obviously, to engage enemies from a safe distance, the LS70 is your best choice. And that's all I have for you, comrade. Please don't forget to rate the video, and even consider subscribing to the channel. My name is Mario Carrion, and thank you for watching. I will talk to you next time. Until then, be safe.